until I watch the news. Anybody who's new here, yes, essential, everything. But I'm a real person, just so you know that. So I feel like I need to bring light to the situation because I really didn't know that this wasn't really national news in terms of what's really happening on the ground locally. Um, Let me just have a seat real quick so y'all don't have a shaky screen. Hopefully no bugs or something come out and get me. But as you all may or may not know, I grew up in Gary, Indiana. I know a small town girl like me, how? But I grew up in Gary, Indiana, and I was there for my parents' anniversary, 40th anniversary celebration, and my grandmother's 90th birthday celebration a couple of weeks ago. And I think I told you guys in my last live video that the day after I left, a storm hit. It was a 99 per hour storm, and it came and it devastated the neighborhoods where my family and my friends live. So they're still without power. I knew my family was still without power, but I didn't know the region is still just now getting power. I heard there's certain communities surrounding my parents' city, which is Gary, that have had power restored in the last 24 hours. So I'm really grateful to hear that. Um, right now, they're saying that my family, where they live, they're probably not going to get power until Monday. So they've been without power since August 11th. But I just found out the data centers have power. How convenient. So first of all, when I went to visit them last summer, I started seeing these signs in people's yards saying no data centers. And I was like, huh, that's so strange. Sorry, I'm seeing this squirrel. I just want to make sure he knows how to stay in this tree. um, but I was like, why do they have these signs? So I Googled, like, what does these signs even mean? Well, people were against the data centers coming in. And I watched the documentary, I believe it was on 60 Minutes, talking about how disruptive the data centers are because they drink up a lot of water. It's causing cancer and other health issues. Basically, it's not good for humankind. And so these people have been without power all this time, but the data centers are still operating. And because the complaint before a storm even came was that it's draining a bunch of the natural resources, such as water, I can only imagine the damage it's doing when there's little to no resources going around. I've seen pictures of the stores having no food. I heard that, maybe not today, but last week at least, the hotels didn't have power. And yeah, I'm just like, huh. But again, I don't watch the news. I only know what I'm being told from my parents and family members on the ground, what's really happening. And so I didn't even know that most people didn't really know that Gary was hit the hardest of Northwest Indiana. So with that being said, I don't even know really how to have this discussion, but I know they were rebuilding it, trying to make something, make Gary great again per se. And now the storm has completely just caused a lot of structural damage in the city. I am just hoping that this storm does not bring in predators. Because if you notice, like Hurricane Katrina, if you notice, like the fires in Maui, if you just notice, like every time there's a disruptive storm, there tends to be investors coming in trying to take uh, the real estate and the land. And Gary actually is a gold mine because we have Lake Michigan, which is at the top of us, top of the city. We have Lake Michigan. Then we have Chicago. It's going to the west of us. We have Michigan going to the east of us. And almost all the semi trucks looks like I lost power. But I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to say that if you're on my email list, I had told you before about preparation for storms, and this is a real good example of what this looks like. So it is important because because you don't ever know when or what time or how it's going to happen, to start preparing to have water, because you need that first. Water is the most important thing. If you don't have water, you probably won't live long. So you need to have water. You need to have enough that can last you preferably weeks. When you have those big water gallon bottles, don't throw those away. Refill those up so you can use that to take like baths or brush your teeth and things like that. Get mason jars, boil water, and then store it inside of water bottles. When you see goods, rice, things like that, make sure you store it properly so that it doesn't get bugs and things inside of it. Have generators. So what really has helped my parents is that my father had a generator, and so he has been able to help be able to have flashlights, because when it gets dark, you need to be able to maneuver around inside of your home. So make sure you have candles. Make sure you have, if it's wintertime, I'll talk about that probably in a different video. And I have a checklist of things you can have. But for the summertime, it's hot. And if you lose power, you don't have AC or the convenience of a fan. So making sure that you have clothes that you can wear that won't, water bottles are empty. If you have to go find water someplace, you need to be able to purify those little. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up because I got a phone call. But my parents didn't know the storm was gonna hit the way it hit. I had been telling them, how to have things prepared, so they were. And they have been taking out the grill, the whole neighborhood, and they've been grilling food because if food stays too long, it's going to spoil. So they've come together to be able to help each other out with food and making sure everybody's eating and having some water. But for you, make sure that you have these things in advance. Don't go out and like buy everything, Hi. Don't go out and buy everything, clearing the shelves, but you do need to little by little store up your house for if a storm or a power outage or a national disaster or a war breaks out, you have what you need already in your house. So I don't know where you are or who you are, but I do know what just happened to my family can also happen to me, and it can also happen to you. So get ready now while you can. If you have friends and family that you can share things with, trust them first, because you don't want to have everybody knowing what you have, but get a community of friends and family where you all can have like a place where you meet to store these things, and then you all can benefit from it together. But everybody should be contributing. You don't want somebody who had time to prepare, don't prepare, and now everybody's starving trying to make sure this one person eats. You also, I hate to say this, but you need to have some type of form of protection to protect yourself, because if it ever gets down to the point where people are desperate, people will do what they got to do to try to get food and water. So make sure that you have a way to protect yourselves, right? But you all who just came on here, just pray for my city. I don't currently live in Gary anymore, but I'm still from there, I can't choose where I wanted to come from. I was just from there, So I am from Gary, Indiana, even though I live in Dallas. And yes, thank you. But I just want you all to just take this situation and let it work out for your good. So I don't have much more to say about that. I guess this kind of ties into the channel with the personal finance, preparing yourself. But I'm really, I got a bone to pick with some of these people about the data centers having power, and my family don't have power. Like I have an issue with that. So I'm not gonna come on here and make this my venting session, but I'm gonna go talk to the people who need to hear my voice to let them know that that's not okay. But that is all. I will talk to you all later. I actually thought I was going to talk about something else, but when I found out that people still don't know about what's going on, I said, well, I got a voice, I got a platform. Maybe I need to say something. So hopefully you guys have been informed, but I don't want to just make it an information video. I want it to be an actionable video. First of all, if you are local and you have resources, please, you can hit me up or find somebody there to try to give the resources to. And if you're not from there, right now I don't really know like logistically how they can get stuff shipped in with everything being all destroyed pretty much. But I can find out from my family what's the best way for people to get resources. And I can guarantee you, if my family is in charge, my dad, he's the president of the neighborhood I'm from, I can guarantee you that people are going to get the stuff. My daddy, my mom, they've been helping people my whole life, you know, with the little and the much that they've had. So they're not going to take nobody's stuff. I can't vouch for everybody else because I don't know everybody else, but I will say that I know that the resources will get to the people who it needs to get to. All right, that is all. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.